Very early into being in the hospital, literally within a day, I was diagnosed with schizophrenia, undifferentiated type, with paranoid features. And that became the diagnosis, and that diagnosis took on what I call a master status in terms of my identity. The fact that I was Pat, the fact that there were many aspects to who I was as a person became absolutely irrelevant once I held this label, this diagnosis. What mattered was that I was a quote-unquote schizophrenic. In other words, my humanity seemed to others to be quite secondary. So the fact that I had friends, the fact that I was a good athlete, none of this seemed to matter. It was like wearing a scarlet letter in big neon lights. This is a disease, not a person. This is a disorder, not a person. So he felt like he knew my future. He had read a generic textbook and simply applied it to the case in front of him. Schizophrenics don't recover, Pat Deegan won't recover. And it was that simple. And he urged me to go into a halfway house and to go on Social Security and to essentially retire from life. And then I remember having a thought, and I had never had this thought before, but the thought came to me, I'm going to become Dr. Deegan and change the mental health system so that no one ever gets hurt in it again. Wow, that thought had never come to me before. And yet, it held me with a power. It became for me what I call a survivor's mission. In my own understanding of it, I believe that I have been called by a power greater than myself to do the work that has become my life work. I do not tell that to psychiatrists or treatment teams when I meet them. Miss Deegan, if I had gone to the treatment team then, Miss Deegan, what is your goal for your treatment planning this year? Well, doctor, I have been called by God to change the mental health system so that no one ever gets hurt in it again. Delusions of grandeur. Up the haloperidol. So I kept this new dream, this new survivor's mission to myself. It became mine. It became something around which I could organize my recovery. And I think that this is so important, that you can't organize a recovery around a vacuum. You can't organize recovery around nothingness. We need to organize our recovery around something that has meaning, something that has purpose, something that gives us a sense that I can begin to move. The driving belief in mental health centers that we will find better living through chemistry, we will find recovery in a pill. This is a myth. Swallowing pills does not make a recovery. You know, that those of us who are struggling with major mental disorders have a very different task in front of us than becoming good pill swallowers. Yes, medications can help, but medications can also prevent recovery, and of this we need to be very aware. From day one, giving people the message that recovery is about changing our lives, not changing our biochemistry.